is the House of Gucci. House of Gucci. I can't do a Jared Leto impression, but he's pretty good in this movie as Paolo Gucci. Um, I got to see this the other day. Looking forward to this for a while because the trailers were really a lot of fun. I thought and had an unbelievable cast of Jared Leto, Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Al Pacino, Jeremy Irons, directed by Ridley Scott. That's just absolutely insane right there. So yeah, looking forward to it. Didn't know anything about the history whatsoever, but judging by the trailer, it seemed to be like a mafia type of crime thriller, but in the world of fashion. And that's kind of what it was. In a way, that's what it was. But Casey, what was your relationship with this movie? What, trailers, the cast? Did you go see it?
Yeah, well, firstly, I know nothing about this story. And the first time I saw the trailer, it impressed me. It was cool, but I wasn't fully sold on it. But of course, Ridley Scott is directing, so I was interested in that. The cast is pretty good: Jared Leto, Adam Driver, Lady Gaga, Jeremy Irons. So yeah, I am probably going to check it out here soon, but first I'm waiting to see The Last Duel first, because that's the one that I'm interested in more. But yeah, after that I'll probably check this one out. But yeah, I know nothing about this story.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know anything about it either. And like the film's 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and it
Oh,
does feel like a long film. But actually, the pacing is pretty good for it. It pacing is because the story is so interesting and the actors are so good. You don't really mind watching them in the times where it's not that interesting. But yeah, I could see many people not wanting to go because of the runtime, and then many people kind of bored at times because there is a time in the movie, especially after the 2 hour mark, where you're like, do we really need all this? Like, I don't mind long movies. I don't mind watching the actors and stuff like that. But you could have maybe cut it out, and maybe made it like a tighter film. But so that's I think it's doing pretty well actually at the box office, so that's good. But the plot for this one is House of Gucci is inspired by the family empire behind the Italian fashion House of Gucci. When Patricia Regini, Lady Gaga, an outsider from humble beginnings, marries into the Gucci family, her unbridled ambition begins to unravel the family legacy and triggers a reckless spiral of betrayal, revenge, and ultimately murder. So that's basically the plot. Actually, the House of Gucci or the Gucci family came out today in a statement bashing on this movie and Ridley Scott for depicting them in such a bad way. So that's pretty funny. And like, was all these events just dramatized for film, or is it too close to home for the Gucci family in terms of what their legacy is? So, look, I don't know, but it's a film and it's a very entertaining film. But yeah, so I want to go through each kind of actor first. Lady Gaga plays Patricia Regini. So she marries into the family. She marries Adam Driver's character. Lady Gaga is terrific. She holds her own in most of the scenes with Jeremy Irons, Al Pacino, with some of the greats of cinema. She does a fantastic job, and she's a leading lady right now because this film is doing pretty well at the box office, like relatively well for pandemic. A Star is Born with Bradley Cooper. She was the star in that as well. Fantastic. I think she won an Oscar. So like she is a leading lady now right now. And the next movie she will be as well. So she's making a very promising career for herself, and big directors want to work with her now after Ridley Scott's after working with her. So she's fantastic in the movie. Adam Driver as Mauricio Gucci, he as her husband, he's solid. He doesn't have much to do in terms of like acting. He's just a solid character throughout the movie. So yeah, I don't think he was unbelievable or anything. He was just really, really solid. Al Pacino plays Aldo Gucci, who is Adam Driver's uncle. And Al Pacino, yeah, he's very good in this. Probably he's in a really good role at the minute because once upon a time in Hollywood, he was fantastic, and now House of Gucci, he's fantastic as well. Jeremy Irons plays Rodolfo Gucci, who was a former actor turned to fashion now, and the head person of the Gucci family. Yeah, he's fine as well. Like it's funny because this is supposed to be an Italian family, and everyone's just doing Italian accents. And at times, like Jeremy Irons just loses his Italian accent. He's just speaking as Jeremy Irons. Then I was like, that kind of took me out of it a little bit. But it's funny how you have these movies based in a certain region, but everybody's talking English. But I know it's a movie, yeah, but yeah, Jeremy Irons was fine as well, but he wasn't in much of the movie. But I suppose the standout, and probably people will think I'm just biased, but it was Jared Leto as Paolo Gucci, and
you're
many people are
biased?
saying that. Yeah, but
Oh
biased
man, no
towards
way.
Joe. Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is like Jared Leto's been in the little things big hit for HBO Max.
Not a lot of people
Zack
saw
Snyder's
that,
Justice League.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
Good
but
movie.
it, yeah, I don't. I'm still thinking about the ending because it was weirdly done.
Hmm.
But yeah, it kept me engaged for most of it. Then Zack Snyder's Justice League, now House of Gucci. Well, yeah, he plays Paolo Gucci, which is kind of the member of the Gucci family who's kind of looked down upon. He's looked at as the idiot of the family, the clown. He is a talented fashion designer, but the family never let him bring his talents to the front of the business. He's never allowed to design
I
clothes,
can relate to
even though he's
that.
actually pretty talented. Are you a fashion designer, Jesse? Um, but yeah, you actually feel sorry for his character because it's a tragic story. And Jared Leto does a pretty good job. And people out there are saying that he's overacting or he's not acting at all. I thought he was pretty entertaining. And most of this film is very funny. It is very funny, especially Lady Gaga's character, Jared Leto's character. They're very funny at times. Some of their dialogue and just the way they move. But yeah, I love Jared Leto on this. He's unrecognizable. I think there's a scene in this. If he is nominated for an Oscar, there's a scene with Adam Driver. It's I think they're just beside a car. That's the scene they'll use for his Oscar kind of video. If he does get nominated, I don't know if he will or not, but I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, he's fantastic. He's just so interesting and fascinating to watch in every single scene because of just what his character is and just the way he perceives it. He's very over dramatic in his Italian accent and the way he moves his hands and stuff like that. But he's just very entertaining to watch on screen. So yeah, I thought those actors did pretty well. Salma Hayek, who's in a lot of the trailers, is barely in this movie whatsoever. I actually think they cut out a lot as well because if you go watch the trailers, there's a good bit of the movie cut out. There's scenes that don't make it. And even though it's 2 hours and 45 minutes, Ridley Scott said he will have a director's cut for this movie as well. So, and the last duel. So that should be something to look forward to. But yeah, the film as a whole, it's um, it's it's the Lady Gaga film for the first 2 hours, and then it just shifts into the Adam Driver story. Then Lady Gaga's gone off screen for a majority near the end. You're like, well, I was really enjoying Lady Gaga and what was going on there with her character and the Gucci family, and now she's just gone, and now we have Adam Driver. It just didn't really flow that right. Just getting rid of her. And Adam Driver didn't have much to do in terms of acting, so he was just like a solid kind of person to watch. But when Lady Gaga was entertaining, when Jared Leto was entertaining, like when I was on Adam Driver at times, I just wanted to go back to Lady Gaga and even Al Pacino and Jared Leto because they were entertaining in what they were doing. Adam Driver wasn't that entertaining whatsoever. He's kind of a pushover for the first 2 hours with Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga calls the shots, then he kind of takes over and becomes more of a man, but he's just not entertaining. That's what my problem was. And the movie does a good job of interacting with musical scores, but also interacting with real music. So, but I was expecting more music because the trailers had like upbeat music, disco music, and stuff like that. But the actual movie didn't have too much of that. That's just a marketing thing. The marketing team thought, oh, let's put these in, give people a different idea of the movie. But yeah, I think Ridley Scott's he's not a bad director, so he does a fantastic job. It's just maybe could have cut down a bit of the runtime after the 2 hour mark. But yeah, I think it's a good watch. You didn't know anything about this story, but the runtime will throw some people off. But I was highly entertained for the 2 hours and 45 minutes as I watched it. I was so engaged in the story because I didn't know where it was going or what was happening next. And it's one messed up story, and Lady Gaga's character is one messed up person for what she did, as you'll see when you watch the movie. But yeah, it's a good watch, and it's definitely one that I'd sit down and watch it again the whole way through. I don't think I'd watch it anytime soon, but definitely down the line, I definitely revisit it.